Namaste viewers, welcome to Dana Degula channel. Today we will try to go through the meaning of the 21st Shloka of Bhaja Govindam, composed by Sri Adi Shankaracharya, a great philosopher. This is a very beautiful and a deeply philosophical shloka which directly touches the core idea of Samsara. The core idea is this cycle of birth and death. And this shloka pleads for Moksha, liberation. Through this shloka, Sri Adi Shankaracharya pleads for Moksha through the divine grace of Lord Murari, Lord Sri Krishna. Let us try to understand this. Sorry. And let us try to touch upon the broader aspect of Hindu philosophical view of rebirth, that is Punarjanma, and the profound insight it offers. But before we go to the details, I request you to please like, share and then subscribe to my channel. Please go through the video completely and then post your comments. The shloka, I will recite the shloka first. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, iha samsare bahudustare kripaya apare pahi murare. It's a very famous shloka. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam, iha samsare bahudustare kripaya apare pahi murare. So, the simple meaning would be again birth, again death, again birth, again death. Lying in the mother's womb, this cycle of worldly existence is extremely difficult to cross. Oh, infinite one, oh Slayer of Mura, Mura Rakshasa, he was killed by Lord Krishna. He is pleading to Lord Krishna, Murari, save me by your grace. Here, the important aspect here highlighted is the basic theory of Punarjanma, the rebirth. This rebirth is central to Sanatana Dharma, Hindu Dharma. This, whatever you call it, Hindu Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, all those. Punarjanma means again birth. That is the repeated embodiment of a jiva, the repeated taking shape in the shape of a body by the atma, jivatma or soul, based on its accumulated karma. This is the central idea. Now, as per Bhagavad Gita, it says, Bhagavad Gita also says, just as a person changes clothes, the Atma, the soul, discards an old and fragile body and takes a new one. It depends upon the karma. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grihyati naroparani. So, as a person sheds worn out clothes, removes his worn out torn clothes and puts on the new ones, so also the soul or the Atma, what we call the Atma, casts off its worn out body and enters a new one. Gita says like this. And why rebirth happens? Due to karma, past actions and vasanas, that is impressions or tendencies which the Atma would have acquired, the jiva keeps coming back to worldly life because it is bound by desires and avidya, that is ignorance. So, after this, liberation is the goal. Liberation means moksha is the cessation of this cycle. It is possible only when one realizes the Atman, that is self, as Brahman and becomes free from attachments and karmic bondage. This is the central core of this Punarjanma, theory of Punarjanma, and the cessation of Punarjanma leads to Moksha, like this. Sri Adi Shankaracharya's message in this shloka is, first some vivid description of the cycle. He goes like this: Punarapi Jananam, repeated birth. You are born again and again into a body, experiencing pleasure and then pain. This is one aspect. The next is Punarapi Maranam. Punarapi, repeated death. Death does not liberate here. See, like in this Hindu Sanatana Dharma, death is not liberation. It's only a transition. The soul or the Atma passes to another body. There is some stopgap arrangement, and then immediately it goes to the next janma. It goes to another body, to whatever that acquired karma, it has to undergo all this pleasure or pain, whatever that is, it goes there. Then how does it happen? Punarapi janani jathare shayanam. It has to go into the womb of somebody. It has to go into the womb of, before taking birth, It's a powerful image, This is not mere philosophy, but a graphic depiction of the Atma being trapped in helplessness. It is curled in the dark, moist, painful environment of a womb. Thus, Punarapi Janani Jhatar Shayanam is not as simple as we think, or as it's a painful experience. It's a very painful experience. Even Prahalada, in the story it says, in his womb, in the state of womb itself, he was suffering. He said, he prayed for liberation. Let me be liberated from this womb. So that was that is what this Punarapi Janani Jatare Shayana means. This makes it clear that even the experience of the womb is a part of bondage and suffering. Not a beginning of life, but a continuation of a chain. Bahudustare, he uses the metaphor of this Bahudustare of the ocean. Very difficult to cross. Samsara is compared to a vast, Iha Samsare Bahudustare, is compared to a vast stormy ocean. It is Bahudustaram, very difficult to cross due to attachments, raga, desires, kama, delusion, moha, ego, ahankara, dvesha, all these kinds. This is repeated forgetfulness of our divine origin. All this Bahudustare. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also, as a man acts and behaves, so he becomes, it says. He whose conduct has been good will quickly attain something good. It clearly states how rebirth is a result of our conduct and mental impressions. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So now, what is the remedy? Kripaya pare pahi murare, the prayer for grace. By your infinite compassion, by your save me, O Murari. By your infinite compassion, you save me, O Murari. Śaṅkarācārya does not advocate mere intellectual knowledge. He also advocates the need for divine grace also. Kripaya pare pahi murare. Despite all knowledge and effort, Sri Śaṅkarācārya says bhakti, devotion and God's compassion are essential for final liberation. This is consistent with the Bhagavad Gita also, सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य माम् एकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वं सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि. So abandon all duties and come to me. Abandon means not physically, but see, you do your duty, karma siddhata, you do your duty and then come back to me alone for shelter. I will liberate you from all sins. Do not grieve. This is what the Bhagavad Gita says. So, the summary of this philosophical depth in the shloka is very profound. Let us revisit that. Rebirth is Punarjanma, a consequence of karma and ignorance. That is avidya. Suffering in Samsara. The aspect of suffering in Samsara is birth, death, womb, cyclical suffering, not one time. Liberation from this is freedom from this cycle through self-realization and surrender. It's a difficult path. Samsara is like a vast ocean, hard to cross without help. Call for divine grace. Sharanagati. Surrender to Murari is essential. Sharanagata aspect of Sharanagati is important. Here bhakti plus jnana both are required. That is, combination of devotion and wisdom leads to ultimate freedom. This is not just jnana. Jnana doesn't lead you anywhere. It's also bhakti is also required here. This is what this shloka suggests. In Kathopanishad, the wise one, after having realized Brahman, having cut off all desires of the heart, become immortal, it says Kathopanishad. Mandukya Karika also says, as a man in the dark goes hither and thither by mistake and by ignorance, even so the ignorant due to Maya goes from birth to birth he goes. Mandukya Karika says. So, to summarize thoughts, in just a few lines, Sri Adi Shankaracharya makes a deeply emotional and spiritually charged plea. He reveals the helplessness of a bound soul, shows how samsara is not a place of peace but a place of endless struggle, urges us to stop intellectual complacency and instead invoke divine grace for true release. Viewers, with this explanation of this shloka, we conclude this episode. I hope this was quite interesting and informative. Please like, share and then subscribe to our channel. Please post your comments after having gone through the video completely. Thank you, viewers.